The old man took a safety pin, pricked it into his neck, and gave it a firm tug. After 3 safety pins, his skin tightened, and he looked 10 years younger. Noticing his ear hair had grown excessively, he dug out some super glue, stuffed it into his ears, waited for it to solidify, and pulled it out. With a mouth full of yellow teeth, he hastily applied some teeth whitening agent, used a file to remove dead skin from his feet, then promptly plucked the doll's eyes and affixed them onto his own. He dyed his beard black, tidied up his eyebrows, and finally donned a wig. Under the intense current, the once stooped posture instantly straightened. It turned out the previously 80-year-old man decided to find a girlfriend. Flipping through a matchmaking magazine, he selected a beautiful woman. He went on dates and vacations with his new girlfriend. One day, unable to suppress a sneeze, her face skin peeled off, revealing that she, too, was an old lady. The mother flies her baby. The man saw it and immediately jumped out. He saved the baby with his body. Although the baby was unharmed, the man's head started bleeding like a waterfall. After that, the man was paralyzed from excessive blood loss, except for the hands controlling the wheelchair. He couldn't move the rest of his body. One day, he came to the station again. The train attendant recognized him. Just as she was asking about his condition, another child also flew towards the orbit. No one was there to save her. The man turned his wheelchair, headed towards the child. Just as the train was about to run over the child, the man felt a force. The train sped by, but on the other side of the train, the man was holding the rescued child. Where do you think his superpowers come from? A student got attacked before the exam. Then the TV in the classroom started blinking nonstop. Everyone saw Julia getting locked up. A mysterious person spoke through the broadcast, announcing everyone had to retake the exam. If they got one question wrong, a student would die. Then, water started pouring into the tank. They tried to call for help but had no signal. Suddenly, a girl screamed loudly. Julia drowned because she didn't answer on time. Terrified, they all ran out of the classroom. But downstairs, they saw a teacher, covered in blood, then collapsing. Then, the broadcast played again. The killer said if they left the school, they would also die. Then they heard Jack screaming in terror. The killer announced the second question. Everyone was searching hard for the answer. Meanwhile, Jack was being tortured, covered in dripping wax. Do you think they could successfully rescue Jack? Jack got dropped from the ceiling. They quickly solved the next question on the door. Opening the door, they found Anna hanging. The rope suddenly went up. The killer appeared, and then let go of the rope. Anna fell to her death. The teacher chased after the woman, finally killing her. Turns out, the woman did all this for her daughter, July. 2 years ago, July found out the teacher sold test answers to parents. The teacher, scared of being exposed, killed July. The school held a memorial for the dead students. Suddenly, the doors were locked. Lots of gas was released. The screen showed a video of July being killed by the teacher. Everyone saw the teacher's true colors. He went crazy. Finally, the security guy grabbed him and ended his life with a knife. Do you think the teacher deserved it? The girl opened her mouth to call for help, but her hair kept crawling into her throat. Just as the girl was about to suffocate, the nearby priests finally came to help. They forcefully pulled the hair out of the girl's mouth, even using the strength they once used to suck milk. But because of the excessive force, they accidentally pulled out the demon's hand too. As the demon's hand loosened, the priest immediately fell to the ground. The demon's arm retracted, taking advantage of the demon's weakness. The nun quickly picked up the Bible from the table, began to chant. The already weakened demon, upon hearing the nun's prayers, finally left the girl's body. Do you think the demon will appear again in the future? Creating a living puppet involves a few steps. First, dislocate all the joints of the person. The next step is to create holes in the hands and feet, followed by applying exquisite makeup. Finally, a custom-made mask is crafted for them, and just like that, a living, puppet version of a person is born. In order to execute a flawless puppet performance, the old man has already taken the lives of 3 men. The authorities quickly unravel the clues, revealing that 50 years ago, a renowned puppeteer died in a robbery, and his son witnessed the entire incident. He has always believed that puppets are alive, and blamed them for not saving his father.
Come on, do something!
Now in an attempt to recreate the past, the man is rehearsing a play with puppets. However, the male puppet is quite uncooperative. He harshly throws the puppet to the ground, administering punishment.
You don't save him, then he is gonna die.
Just as the play is about to begin, the police arrive just in time to stop this dramatic spectacle. With a tug on her arm, a hole ripped open in the skin, revealing veins transformed into threads. A strand of thread emerged from the back of her hand. Before long, the elderly woman was slowly consumed by the sofa. ultimately merging with it. Just a few days ago, she was a young beauty who had rented a house where bizarre events began unfolding. Freshly painted walls instantly turned black, and recently placed fruits on the table decayed rapidly. What's even more peculiar is that the next day, she saw herself aged over a decade in the mirror. In a panic, she sought to terminate the lease with the property management, only to be informed that she must find new tenants before leaving. Frustrated, she checked into a hotel, but the following morning, she woke up aged by over 20 years. Left with no other options, the woman convinced her ex-boyfriend, a scoundrel, to take over the lease at an incredibly low price. A wicked mother forced her daughter to dance, even using her foot to press down hard on her back. The next moment, the daughter fainted, but the woman showed no reaction. She placed the daughter on a table, sewed her eyes shut, and inserted parts into her spine, turning her into a spinning puppet. One day, a group of people were on a treasure hunt. A guy lifted the white cloth, revealing the puppet. A girl inserted a key. The puppet started spinning like a music box. After the dance, the puppet lunged at the girl. With one punch, the girl knocked out the puppet. She cut the thread sewn on the puppet's eyes. Then the puppet woke up. The girl helped the puppet escape, but the puppet chose to jump off a cliff. Maybe, for her, it was a kind of liberation. The boy is showing his $1 bill because it grew from a tree. 3 days in the past, the boy brought a money tree home. The seller mentioned that in 3 days, this tree would start growing money. Therefore, the boy watered the tree every day. He didn't even go to sleep, afraid he might miss the moment when the money tree produced cash. Dad had no belief in the money tree, wanted to get rid of it. Nevertheless, the boy strongly insisted on keeping the tree because the next day would be the money day. On that third day, $100 bills appeared on the tree. The boy excitedly grabbed the money and ran outside. Mom was also surprised, wondering if the money tree could be real. Dad smiled and revealed he was the one who placed the money on it. What a considerate father. Meanwhile, on the flip side, the boy who visited a restaurant with a friend remarked, to ensure the girl doesn't fall, the man plays the piano desperately. Just a moment ago, he was playing a mysterious piece of music. When he plays the piano, time stands still. If he plays it wrong, he will lose both hands. Suddenly, the man turns his head, discovering a girl hanging upside down outside the window. Astonished, he asks her why she wants to commit suicide. The girl explains she has had enough of her mother's control. The man sympathizes deeply with her, wanting to save the girl by repeatedly playing and freezing time. Suddenly, he recalls the story of Beethoven playing the piano upside down. Deciding to flip the sheet music, unexpectedly, time reverses. The girl is successfully saved as a result.